Hey everyone, this is my trifle board assignment. I'm going to add pictures to the end of this because it's probably going to be flipped around for you guys on the video. So I'm going to take some pictures to see if you guys can get a more close-up view of what's going on here. So my original general ed assignment is geared for a first grade math lesson. It is just some basic addition problems where the sum will go all the way up to 30. There's objects in the different equations like apples, strawberries, stars, suns, different little fun things like that for them to add up. So the objective of this assignment would be to practice their addition skills. Students will add the numbers all the way up to 30. Count the objects on both sides and then add them together. When you come up with an answer, write it in the corresponding box for that problem. Try and get as many problems right as possible. So for student number 1 over here, these adaptations will be for a student with Down syndrome. So students with Down syndrome can possess some characteristics that make learning more difficult for them. Some of those characteristics include irritability, disruptiveness, hyperactivity, and oppositional behaviors. So there's a few different adaptations we could do for this lesson. Those would include providing a brightly colored number line and also allowing them to use different manipulatives from the classroom. So whether that be counting bears, stacking cubes, anything like that they can use to count out these equations. Using the number line and manipulatives will really increase that student's understanding and retention of what they're going on. Children with Down syndrome are visual and hands-on learners, so allowing them to do that in a math lesson is really going to enhance their math skills and make that learning experience more concrete for them. I'm going to switch the board over to this side and move over. Student 2 would be a student in the classroom with autism. So students with autism also possess some behavioral characteristics that make learning more difficult for them. Some of the characteristics include repetitive body movements, so hand flapping, rocking, spinning, stuff like that. Also obsessive attachments to specific objects. It could be a bracelet, it could be a toy, it could be a watch, something that they're just obsessed over. And then also having restricted behaviors. So adapting this math lesson for a student with autism, you could use flashcards with them and also make it into a game so it makes that learning experience a little bit more exciting for them. You also could allow them to complete this lesson using technology or their computer or iPad, whatever the school has available. And this is really an important piece of students with autism because the spectrum is so large. Kids can be very severe on the spectrum, or they could be not too severe on the spectrum. So really getting to know your students with autism is very important. So for the first adaptation, those visual cues like flashcards can be really helpful for them, and then turning it into a game allows them to be more excited about their learning experience. But for a child that has more severe autism, you might want to go the technology route because their motor skills aren't going to be as developed. So instead of having them write it down on the worksheet, it becomes a little bit easier for them to do it on their computer, iPad, whatever other technology is available to the classroom. And then in the middle we have student 3. So student 3 has ADHD. And characteristics of ADHD, they're very hyperactive and they have impulse behaviors. So for a math lesson like this, we can adapt it to fit their needs. One adaptation is to give them an extra piece of paper with some sample problems and steps written out for them. And then another adaptation could be to decrease the number of problems that they actually have to complete on the worksheet. So because children and individuals with ADHD, their mind is so hyperactive that it's really hard for them to focus on just one specific task. So having them sit down and complete a worksheet can be very, very difficult for them. So giving them the extra worksheet with the steps written out clearly and also some sample problems will help them stay on task and focused on the lesson and on the worksheet. And then also assigning them less problems also is going to put their mind at ease. They're not going to feel so stressed out about having to complete all the problems on the worksheet. So for this one, there's 16. You could have them do 10 of them. So 10 of them, you're still going to have enough problems for them to practice. And as a teacher, you're still going to have plenty of problems to check their understanding and learning. And then here's my reference sheet from some of the websites and different organizations that I looked at to complete this. Here's a full look at it. I don't know if you can really see it, but I will also add some pictures to this, so there's more of a concrete and hopefully a better view at what's on the board. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to watching all your guys' presentations as well. Thank you. Bye.